There are many reasons, but the main one that comes into mind is the fact that my supervisor is a very proactive and leading researcher in her field. The other reason is that Birkbeck, by its nature, is very welcoming to students who may have other commitments in life, such as family or work-related.
The first one was the supervisor. So I spoke to many people and before making a decision, and then I researched and I found a supervisor at Birkbeck that was really matching what I wanted to do. And also she had a lot of experience. She was really an expert in the field, and I was a bit afraid that I wouldn't get a reply very soon, but she was super kind, and that was a deal breaker. Second was the fact that I could study after work hours, so I could take a PhD while working, which for me was a necessity, obviously, because I didn't want to stop working. And also the third reason, which is the fact that Birkbeck is so central in London that it was very easy to get to class or for anything right after work. And from my old office, I could get there in 15 minutes. And that was very, very handy and convenient.
My research focus is within financial mathematics. And specifically on risk management. So it's an area which kind of overlaps between functional analysis, probabilities, and statistics.
We looked at mathematical modeling of commodity prices, in particular oil, but we looked at it in a real environment, which was the corporate environment of airlines. So the first part, which was basically the MPhil, was designing and optimizing hedging portfolios for airlines. From that, we are moving to a different commodity, which is power. And it's a super exciting field because obviously everything is leaving oil and fossil fuels for renewables. And power is where the biggest challenge is, but also where things are happening faster.
So far, the experience has been phenomenal, much better than I expected. I did have high expectations, and Birkbeck has certainly delivered and even more. Birkbeck staff is very experienced in terms of dealing with challenges or working together with students who may have other commitments. So it's never been an issue, for example, in my degree that I have a full-time job. In fact, Birkbeck kind of builds that environment where they make the most out of your career and you make the most out of that experience as well. You have several industry practitioners who come in and hold lectures and talks where you can ask questions and build connections. In fact, I was myself encouraged to kind of hold a lecture at Birkbeck to talk about the work I do during my day job.
Yeah, I actually loved the experience, and it was very different. And actually, I studied in the US, in Italy, and in another school in the UK. And Birkbeck was definitely the better organized one for some reasons. And everybody I speak to is extremely kind, and they actually make an effort to help, which is great. Also, the Birkbeck talent, the recruitment. They got me my first job in London as a quant right after starting the PhD, so that was obviously added value.
I'm in full-time employment, so I work within the finance industry. I've been in the industry for more than 10 years now. Birkbeck provides that environment where you can build connections, you can network with other people within your industry who you may not necessarily be able to connect with as part of your job, because there are so many students around you who are also within the industry or have full-time job. So it is very promising and very exciting to be able to do this degree and also work at the same time and use the skills you gain from each area interchangeably.
Being able to do a PhD while working is for me is the best experience, because I know I'm doing something tangible that someone else can eventually use for their own benefits. So that's the best thing that perhaps a researcher as I am could aspire to.